What are they getting up to this week?
Oh yes, I'm wearing my shit shirt.
The old shit shirt. It's a good shirt.
Thank you.
You guys.
Helen Mirren, Rachel Weisz. Who's Rachel Weisz?
What are you talking about? Rachel Weisz. She's in The Mummy.
No one watches this. Why put in the effort? If I have any advice to give to anybody, is don't bother. Don't get in front of a camera. It's absolutely pointless. You get zero feedback. Just don't do it.
Rachel!
What are you doing? What's happening here? No! Rachel! John, Chris, what have you done? Rachel Weisz. That name rings a bell, but I can't place it. You're me. We're us. Yeah. Any we is also an us. What's unique about this us, this we, is that it's comprised entirely of me and me. And me. What's going on? You seem unreasonably calm about this. Well, I assume you've come from an alternate timeline. I've come here. No. You've just appeared in my flat. No, pretty sure you're in my timeline. Were you aware of your timeline collapsing? Did you see anything strange? Collapsing? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I did see Rachel Weisz disappear from a poster of The Mummy that I happened to have up. Yeah, sometimes when a timeline's collapsing, if you spot it, it can cause you to shift into another one. You're lucky to get out though, because that timeline has ended. It is over. It's probably bloody time travelers again. So, from the perspective of that reality, coming here was the last thing I ever did. Yeah, you could absolutely say that. I think that's a completely valid position. What's The Mummy? You know, The Mummy, 1999 family action-adventure film starring Brendan Fraser, John Hannah and Rachel Weisz. It's fun! Yeah, I think I remember that. It was a massive flop. I don't remember a Rachel Weisz in it. Why do I know that name? Of course, she disappeared from the poster. She was never cast. Seems strange though that in this timeline they didn't cast another actor in the female lead role. I mean, to change the whole script because someone you've never heard of didn't exist or wasn't there to be cast. That's bizarre. Doesn't make any sense. Hey, it's your timeline. Things are definitely going to get confusing around here with another Patrick around. Hate it when there's another Patrick. Patrick? Who's Patrick? No. My name's Ben. Ben Hearn. Ben who? Welcome to Jester. Welcome to Jester Jesters Goes Viral, episode 19. So, you're doing Jester Jesters Goes Viral in this reality too? What, a weekly internet comedy show to replace Jester Jesters, an open mic that took place downstairs at the Betty Trotwood in Farringdon every Monday at 8 p.m? Yeah, that's it. Do you try to keep the soul of an open mic by accepting submissions from anyone of about 5 minutes? Yep. We don't even watch them before they go out. So it's a surprise for us. That's what we do. It seems massively irresponsible. You could be putting anything out there. It's massively irresponsible. Yeah, there's a bunch of timelines doing JJGB. A lot of them stopped at episode 9 and then everyone started doing mindfulness and learning new things and getting to know themselves. Quitters. So, what submissions have you got this week? Here's one from Declan Kennedy.
Still phoning it in, guys.
Still phoning in.
Still phoning in, guys.
In line with government regulations, you must wear a face covering while travelling on TfL services. Please ensure you're covering. You must wear a face covering while travelling on TfL services. Please ensure your covering is on before you enter a station. and please keep it on until your journey is completed. Thank you.
Still phoning it in, guys. 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 Still
Exit
phoning
the
it in,
London
guys.
Underground Northern
Still
Line
phoning it
from
in, guys.
Archway Station.
Still phoning it in, guys. Phoning it.
Singed Inglenookes in the strictest confidence. Orders in a dulcimer jetty. An Andrombola in a Hessian shirt. Clowned owls hooting you on. Pirate making a smell. A sedated predator fleeing an angry creditor. A blend of bent pens. Unctuous ushers fighting urbane drug pushers. A sheen of lean eagerness. Severed handlebars in inquiry. Zombies body popping. A pie in a pewter swan. Glandular nannies. A manned interstellar mission to find clams. The best laid plans in commemorative plate form. An undiscovered skirt. Braised praise on a bed of rice. A parachute for a skydiving padre.
Parachute for a skydiving padre. Skydiving padre.
Clay ghosts in a haunted kiln. Bed of rice. Some soup in a wetsuit. Kith and kin in a subliminal spin dryer. Blue milk from a pylon's udder. A dehumanized ingenue. Interesting theory about
This is
fruit.
the train to Gospel Oak.
A crest of blessed effort. White noise in a sequestered vestibule.
Please ensure you're covering.
Bruised elders giving out free samples. Communiques from a bourgeois boudoirs. A chubby rubber underling. Clairvoyant voyeurs on a voyage to an envoy. Edgelords in a wedge formation. Saucy faucet in a publication. A deputation of crud. An embassy for bass players. The word of a scourge. Puny tribunals in a unitard. Traitors on a painful defect in a sub-roll. Trained first aiders marinating. Glenn Macready's beady weeds. A scorched ambulance. Black Lives Matter.
Tell me, how do you know all this? Alternate realities have been known about for ages in this timeline. You can even text them now with the new WeiszPhone X. WeiszPhone X? That's where I know the name. Rachel Weisz. She's the reclusive genius behind WeiszCore. No one's ever seen a picture of her. Most people think she's just a marketing gimmick. Why would someone so reclusive name their company after themselves? Wait, you say you can text other realities, other timelines? Have a look. God, this is amazing. This is a context John, temporal interference. Same with Chris. I'll say these fine. Warning, what should I say? Okay, I think I've explained the situation pretty well. Sadie Gibson, send. No, it's saying message may be corrupted due to a temporal interference. Does this shit ever work? It's only the first version, but with some timelines you can send messages back a few months. Wait, a few months? So you can warn people about COVID? Yeah, that's all we've been fucking doing. No one listens. Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember several months ago people talking about social distancing, quarantine, masks, exponential spread, asymptomatic transmission. Next year's model, though, should be able to send messages back a whole year. But that'll be now. You still can't change things. Yeah, their stock price did take a dip when they announced it. Still, it could be worse. You could be in one of the bad timelines. Really? We're in a good timeline? Oh, yeah. You know that asteroid that nearly hit, in March, April? That hits in a bunch of timelines. Add in the Large Hadron Collider, creating black holes all over the place, and There's only a very narrow set of timelines where things can exist in. I think that's why everything's so fucked. What happens when we run out of timelines? Well, there's still an infinite number of timelines. It's just that eventually there'll be an infinite number of timelines where we are all dead. So, what? Am I stuck here, or is there a way for me to get home? You want to go back? But it's screwed. Oh, I'm kind of a home bird, bunny, body. I'm a homebody. Yeah, there is a way. Let me show you while we watch this submission from Troy Hewitt.
Hi there, this is Owen Hopkins. I'm the president of the Abu Dhabi UFO Society. And yesterday, bit of an update. It was a massive day for me. We had our first proper call out, first public call out. Bit of context, I was there relaxing in front of the box, eating a bag of nuts. Next thing you know, I got a phone call, first serious phone call, because I've had people call me up and they say freak, or I'm gonna slit your throat, you're a shit dad. And Mrs. Wilkes' son Craig, I heard him touching himself down the phone. I was quite angry about that, but then I found out that he had special needs, so I just left him to it, really. And in the end, it became quite relaxing. It was like whale music or something. But last night was totally different, because I got a call around 10 o'clock from Michael Powell, the choir master, and he said that he saw 3 floating, mysterious, kind of glowing orbs above his bedroom, and I got straight in the taxi, £30 there, £30 back, bargained. The driver said to me, you could pick the music. I said, what have you got? He says, I haven't even got a stereo. It's just like hypothetical. So, you could listen to anything, really. It was just, it gave us something to talk about anyway. And then when I arrived, I was really excited. I got my kit out. Michael greets me at the door, and he's in his wedding suit. He's covered in sick. He's sort of crying. He's been drinking. And he tells me it's the anniversary of his wife's affair 20 years ago. So he wants to chat, really. And I said to him, I'm sorry for your situation, Michael, but the Abu Dhabi business line is really for my professional services only, so I'm going to have to charge you, mate. So yeah, I got a £50 call-out fee, plus the travel expenses, plus £10 for labour, because I did have to wrestle him to the ground to get the money. It's just not bad for a day's work. And then I got home, and I filled out a page in the Abu Dhabi UFO Society classified info book. This is like gold dust, this. Every single paranormal incident that has occurred within the Abu Dhabi village area, and also the wider county of Gwynedd, and really the whole of Cardigan Bay, is documented in here. And actually an incident at Glenda Evans' funeral in Coventry. So I suppose technically we're an international UFO society now. But before anyone says anything stupid, no, I'm not an idiot. This is a decoy book. It's not the actual book. I wouldn't be so stupid as to do that. The actual book is here. Or is it here? Or is it here? Is this the actual book? Or is it here? No, I got no more there, but I got 20 around the whole headquarters. And it's really just a decoy, throw people off the scent if any intruders come in, any journalists looking around for the info. They'll open a book and be like, hang on a minute. Sharpin lists, dear diary, I thought this was classified info. Meanwhile, I come from behind and bang, full Nelson, and I chuck him out. Because the authorities, especially the establishment, they hate what I'm doing. They're trying to bring me down in case I uncover something they don't want me to. So, they're lying to me. I give you an example. I had a phone call with a police commissioner in Somerset the other day who said that they found a body in the River Avon, which matched my daughter Kerry's description. And I said... I said thank you very much, lads, for the info, but I won't be taking that on board, I'm afraid, because they're terrified. They're absolutely terrified of what I'm going to find. So they're using these manipulation techniques. I actually had a dream about Kerry last night, and she was showing off a brand new pair of robot legs. And I said, they're lovely, where'd you get them from? She said, well, Father, they amputated my human legs, and they fed them to the prisoners on board the ship, and then they got me these new ones. And And I was a bit concerned at the time because it didn't sound very safe for a child, that sort of environment. But she seems happy, so I took it as a sign that I should keep looking, I should keep searching. And I'm sorry to the Somerset Police, but you're going to have to keep your body. You're going to have to keep your evidence because I know what path I'm on and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, next video I think I'll be out there. We'll do a live environment of me actually on call. But until then, have a good time. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Reverse the polarities and you're done. Why do you reverse the polarities at the end? Well, it's just polite for the next person. Now remember, this isn't the exact reality you left, but it's the closest one. Right, because that timeline's ended. I've done the last thing I'll ever do in that timeline. Yeah, that's correct. I agree with that without reservation. I don't see how anyone could argue. So why haven't you jumped to another timeline where things are handled? Look, I said, there's only a narrow range of timelines available. The Tories are useless cunts in all of them. A breathtaking combination of incompetence and malice across an infinite number of timelines. It's frustrating. That is frustrating. Okay, give this a go. Okay, reverse polarities, enter coordinates, click OK, reverse polarities. Didn't say bye. Rude.
All worlds, all realities, all time, all space was shown to me in a maelstrom of light. It was knackering. I could see infinite lives play out at once in a burning dance across the sky. Beautiful, tragic, short. I saw freak events occur as much as mundane. Uncountable times someone slipped on a banana skin. It was always funny. Far too much to take in, but the accumulated knowledge began to flow through me, filling me with a new sense of understanding and... But what's that? My focus was drawn to something approaching me. Is that Jonathan Hearn?
When I'm at school, I wish they'd say, "What do you want to learn today? I know about tadpoles and what's 16 times 2, but why, oh why, does a bum smell of poo?" I asked Ma and Pa, "I simply must know. I'm almost certain you have nowhere special to go. What do you need? What must we do? Why, oh why, does a bum smell of poo?" I cornered my auntie. She'd pop round for some tea. People listened to her, but never to me. "Auntie," I said, "won't you even give me a clue about why, oh why, a bum smells of poo?" I sat with my brother. Was he 3 years or 4? Did he know his own name? I couldn't be sure. Regardless, I quizzed him. I hate to ask you, but why, oh why, does a bum smell of poo? I want to know how a ship sails south. I want to know how to sew up a mouth. I want to know whether beans are alive. I want to know how to sharpen a knife. I want to know how to harvest the corn. I want to know how children are born. I want to know how Granny knits tops. I want to know how the butcher makes chops. I want to know when a car is a van. I want to know how to frighten a man. I want to know when it's 2:45. I want to know when it's time to be me. Old Johnny Fiddle felt a tingle in his middle. Who am I? But what is you? Where is how? Is now then too? If when is then, and what is that? Is why because, so for in at? What's there? If so, is it for two? And why, oh why, does a bum smell of poo?
The strange message echoed through my mind, shattering the fragile revelation that had begun to form. And he says I interrupt him. Recoiling from the onslaught, I barely had time to recognize the next as it bore down upon me. A face, a beard, a hat. It's Chris Timoney.
From the Global Newsroom, this is Newspipe. The UK headlines. Moped mistaken for bowel in West Ham. Whole Foods secure rights to first organic boy. New evidence suggests that William Shakespeare and Jack the Ripper may have been the same woman. Worried faces at Buckingham Palace as newborn prince refuses to eat anything other than human flesh. British government to set up new CCTV network in order to keep tabs on the current CCTV network. A Hackney-based refuse worker has been hospitalised by a fellow employee after repeatedly saying it's time to take out the trash every time he took out the trash. Police officers in Kent have uncovered an underground sex scandal linking several TV chefs to having unsolicited sex with over 1,000 decommissioned trains. A 73-year-old ophthalmologist from Fife has been suspended after mistaking a thermometer for a knife due to poor eyesight. Luckily, only 14 people were injured. A parish priest from Richmond has been excommunicated after introducing a holy water wet t-shirt competition during a sermon in an attempt to make Mass more fun. A Van de Graaff generator from a school in Whitby is to go on trial today after 1,000 allegations of abuse were brought forward in connection with the 90-year-old electrostatic machine. The generator was charged last night, but remains positive. Global news. US President Donald Trump shook hands with a family of apes in Cape Canaveral, Florida today before he sent them off on a one-way mission to Mars. It's hoped that the simian-led mission will provide invaluable information for future manned voyages to the Red Planet. Holland woke up this morning to find that they had accidentally made banana bread their new king after an evening of celebrations and parades got out of hand. Officials are working round the clock to figure out exactly what happened and how to resolve it. In the meantime, most have welcomed the moist loaf cake monarch with open arms. 2 16-year-old men from Chicago were arrested today after attempting to download a young woman from their computer. The boys stand trial tomorrow and are expected to face the full force of the law. The Humpty Dumpty case has been officially reopened after the King's horses and King's men made, quote, a significant key discovery. The beloved egg and friend of the royals was found dead in 2002 under mysterious circumstances. The United Nations have announced a plan to, quote, just sit down and sort everything out once and for all. Talks are expected to commence at the start of next year. A researcher from Dublin was surprised when she inadvertently freed a 1,000-year-old Celtic king from a book she was restoring. The ancient king had been cursed by a druid ex-lover over an altercation involving some child swans. She then imprisoned the king, trapping him between 2 pages that were seemingly very well stuck together. The ancient king is currently recovering at a local hospice. Breaking news update. Horror at Houston, Texas as NASA reveals the unmanned Mars capsule, containing a family of apes, has veered off course and is now heading directly towards the sun. A mission originally scheduled for next month to send a second family of apes has now been brought forward and will serve as a rescue mission. Science news. A 17-year-old housewife from Devon has discovered that by planting a peach stone in a pint of semen, you can regrow the entire fruit without the need for a tree. She's hoping to experiment with a range of other seeded fruits to see if they yield a similar result. The University of Cambridge has predicted that next year's New Year's resolution will be 44.95 by 44.95. The findings have been met with confusion over its exact meaning, the practicality of the size, and how quickly it's likely to be broken. The famous English phrase, busy as a bee, is under threat. A recent study deemed the British bee no longer active enough to be classified as busy. An international initiative hopes to attract busier European, Japanese, and African bees to our shores in order to preserve the endangered phrase. The search for the Higgs boson particle has temporarily been put on hold as CERN takes a break from exploring the materials that make up the universe to see if the Large Hadron Collider can run doom. Japan has announced that it's found a humane solution to curb its animal crush fetish porn problem via the use of animatronics on already dead animals. And an anonymous fan approved of the workaround, saying, well, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, then I can probably wank to it. The campaign to save Britain's bees ended today after the endangered insects repeatedly stung those trying to help. One despondent volunteer beekeeper was quoted saying, I don't get it, it's like they don't even want to be helped. Flying Ant Day has been cancelled this year due to low ticket sales and dwindling turnouts. There's hope that the once popular holiday might return next year pending a PR push to attract new and younger audiences to the fun. NASA warned that the chances of porn stars filming on Mars is 1,000,000 to 1, they say. It's been over 50 years since the moon landing, and in a recent interview, a cheery Buzz Aldrin, now aged 90, reminisced about what it was like to be the first man to piss on the moon. The World Health Organization have begun trialling a new hourly pill that prevents drug addiction. Unfortunately, the pill, still in its early stages, is highly addictive. Fortunately, the pill cancels out the effects. Telemetry from the long-range space probe Conrad 1 has finally put to rest the age-old debate over how we should classify Pluto. A flyby scan of the surface proves once and for all that Pluto is actually a celestial blood egg from the ninth abyss. The popular anti-pest spray company Flynol has been asked to recall its latest anti-bird solution amidst growing fears of misuse. The 3-litre canister was developed as a means to immediately silence an entire tree of noisy birds within seconds. But despite clear warnings not to, the spray is equally effective at ending medium-sized pets as well as small children's weighing up to 60 pounds. Technology news. A man claiming to be from the future has gunned down the latest Asimo Honda robot in fear of an impending robopocalypse. He did so while screaming, "Come with me if you want to live." As a precaution, all remaining Asimo robots have been safely locked up and melted down at a foundry just in case the man was right. The new gay Christian dating app, Fishers of Men, has been shut down after 1 million complaints were logged within the first seconds of launch. All bank teller machines will be removing the option to use the code 6666, also known as the PIN number of the beast, after a 19-year-old man was possessed by a Sumerian demon whilst trying to withdraw one of the new £10 notes. Fertility clinics in Italy have been forced to remove new automatic sperm sample machines within the first half hour of installation after they were mashed up due to overuse and abuse. One nurse said she had to leave the clinic after everything started to smell like bleachy mushrooms, cut grass, stale bread and crab. Concerns have been made over a new vape setting so obnoxious that it's been compared to a Beyoncé concert smoke machine at Christmas. The new setting can make a normal-sized street look like Victorian London with just one exhale. Japan has unveiled its first assisted suicide robot that looks, sings and plays trumpet exactly like Louis Armstrong. It can perform a soothing repertoire of What a Wonderful World, We Have All the Time in the World, or La Vie en Rose, as it slowly administers a lethal injection. Breaking news update. The mission to send a rescue party after the sun-bound apes on a failed mission to Mars has ended in disaster, with both spacecrafts now hurtling towards the sun. A radical last-ditch effort to send a panda up after the apes is currently underway. All hopes are now pinned on the success of the panda-based rescue. Religious news. The Vatican has unveiled a new prototype priest boasting a blessing range of 5 miles, which can bless through lead as well as round corners. The University of Utah in America has developed the world's first Christian AI. The newly unveiled clerical system, Cross, should be online just in time for Easter and boast the messianic power of 5.5 Christs. Food news. Italian space program, SPAS, has successfully constructed the world's first totally spherical lasagna. The perfectly formed ball of pasta and sauce can only be built in the zero-gravity vacuum of space, and is considered by some to be Earth's second true moon. As of next month, all UK half-pint measures in bars, pubs and clubs is to be replaced with a full pint and a wink. A street food stall serving 1 kilogram burritos made from a sauce using Ghost and Carolina Reaper chilies publicly apologises for writing checks that the human anus can't cash. A West End Chinese restaurant owner has confessed that he only started doing a buffet so he and his friends could laugh at tourists aimlessly attempting to cram as much unrelated food onto their plates as possible. Mass mayonnaise redundancy may or mayonnaise work out after a Bakelite telephone was found in a lobster sandwich made with surreal mayonnaise instead of real mayonnaise. Irish crisp god, Mr. Tato of Tato Crisp fame, took his own life at his Tato Castle home last night after increasing allegations that the potato-headed mascot harboured a fetish for child obesity. The anthropomorphic tuber fried himself alive, creating several thousand bags of smoky bacon and signature cheese and onion crisps, requesting that they be donated to needy children as his dying wish. The crisps will be sent to a maximum security prison to feed the inmates. New meat product, sausage on the bone, has been deemed too horrific for human consumption and will be rebranded for cats. Officials say the product was as problematic as it was unnecessary. Uproar as new vegan pate substitute foie gras upsets everybody within seconds of launch, with both sides campaigning that no one wants this and no one likes this. Breaking news update. Panic as unstoppable prototype priest goes rogue, blessing and baptizing over 5,000 unaware bystanders from a church bell tower using only a super soaker and a Bible. Transport news. Transport for London is to install more attractive people on major underground lines in order to make journeys more bearable at the cost of less space and even longer delays. National Rail warns commuters to expect periodic disruptions to rail services due to leaves on a track, a tree on the track, a train on the track, unplanned engineering works, planned engineering works, red signals, signal failures, overhead lines, downed lines, trespassers, bridge strikes, rail strikes, faults with the doors, faults with the train, faults with the track, a passenger triggering an alarm, a passenger taking ill, a passenger fainting, a passenger jumping in front of the track as a passenger gets hit by a train, delayed train crews, delayed trains, cancelled trains, no crew, no driver, no train, congestion at Penge West, an operational incident at Penge West, an incident at Penge West, a landslip at Penge West, a problem with the depot at Penge West. National Rail would like to apologise for any inconvenience caused. Fare prices are expected to increase next year. Sporting news. Gloom at Wimbledon today as computer tracking system Hawkeye shuts itself down after predicting the end of tennis itself. Thoughts go out across the world after the International Space Station suffered a severe fault, causing it to tragically fall from orbit directly into a stadium event attended by every footballer in the world ever. A memorial for the 3 astronauts will be held later tonight. Breaking news update. Success from Mission Control as Panda brings back both families of apes to Earth orbit. Sadly, all 28 apes died on re-entry. Today's weather? Mostly ash for the next few days. From all of us here at Newspipe, you're up to date.
I could see the end of time approaching, the beginning of time on the horizon, a glorious sunset morphing into a new dawn. Everything old is new again. Timelines echoing across the cosmos, Jester Jesters plotlines reused over and over again. I saw in the future, the past, the present, the next episode of Jester Jesters goes viral, filled with submissions of about 5 minutes sent to info@jesterjesters.com. In many realities, donations were given to the night at jesterjesters.com. Would I find myself in one of those generous realities? Would I fuck? Details of the show came into relief as I studied it from my vantage point at a great distance and from within. Chris Timoney would host, in front of a live studio audience. The cosmos thanked me for watching. Good night. Good morning.